2025 October, Colorado. 2 days until the opening season of the first rifle season, and we are up scouting, trying to see if there's sign here, if it's worth staying here, if we find elk here, and if not, then we're gonna relocate to the other side of the unit. Can't wait to get hunting. We're so excited to be up here. We're so thankful that we have the privilege in our state to come out every year and do this, and just that God allows us to be able to get out and be active and hunt and enjoy His creation. So far, we do not have any fresh sign. We see some that may be from a few days ago, but nothing super fresh. These game trails in here are amazing, but there's nothing except for deer that have come through here recently. We are back at the vehicle. No other fresh signs, so we're going to relocate maybe an hour from where we are now, up higher, about 2,000 feet higher than it is here, and see if we can locate some animals there. We're hopeful that we will be able to. Alright, we grabbed our packs. We're up 11,000 feet right now, and gonna hike up. I don't know how far, but get up kind of below where we typically see them. Alright, it's dark, in case you couldn't tell. Found elk, a small group of cows it looks like. And as you can probably hear, not on the map anywhere, but last year we found this little tiny stream that runs through these trees here. Beautiful, cold, clean water. Oh, it's so cold. Good morning. We got up right about first light, got ready. We're back up where we saw those elk last night. There's none in there right now. But we did see another ridge line over on our side. So we're gonna go up to the top, go drop down the other side and see if we can find sign over there today. It's about 10 minutes after I took that last video. We kept climbing up and saw 200 yards away. There's a 5-point bull just grazing up the hillside. So we are sitting up in these trees. It's raining. We saw that bull first thing this morning, and then we climbed up to the top, dropped over to the other side, and pretty much immediately heard a bull bugling, and waited, and he moved over, and then we saw a 6x5 bull with his cows, maybe half a dozen cows. Pretty awesome. him tomorrow morning. Brett and I split up. He's gonna go get set up and glass up where we saw those elk yesterday evening. There's a lot of elk in here. I'm over back where we got water. See the water just flowing through here. And there's tracks all through here. And I'm gonna go get set up over here in an area that we've never been and just see if anything comes out over there this evening. Right now, it's about 2:30. Yesterday, we know that they started coming out in some places at about 3:30, and that was in lower elevation. So if it starts cooling off, they might start coming out. So we'll see how it goes. We didn't see anything this evening, but really cool. Brett said that up above where he was, there was a bull bugling, probably the one that was bugling this morning. He said that down the other side of the ridgeline, there was a bull bugling down there. And when I was coming back, a bull started ripping off down below where I was, and he's still bugling. It's completely dark now, and I bet I've heard him bugle 40 times in the last hour. So we have a plan in place for tomorrow. We're going to go up where we saw the bull this morning and see if we can find him again. And if not, then we're going to try to chase bugles if there are any. So it's another good day. Very thankful. This is one of the coolest days hunting that I've ever experienced with in rifle, bulls bugling. Just seeing a lot of really cool stuff and just having them rip off all around us has really been awesome. Very thankful. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's just after 8 o'clock. We never did catch up to that bull. It bugled a handful of times. Not nearly as much as it did late last night. We would think we got maybe within 200 yards of it, but then never got up to it. We don't think it winded us. We tried to swoop around and play the wind, but I don't know. It just went silent and they went off somewhere. So we're sitting up over this big meadow here, hoping something comes out. Maybe they'll come out below us, but that's the plan. Okay, so Brett and I came up with our own plans, and I took off from where he was and got about 200 yards from camp and I ranged it later 12 yards of a calf. She didn't see me. I was right there in plain sight, but I stood still, and she kind of turned after eating a little more and walked down. I walked forward about 30 yards and then saw another cow way down at the bottom about 70 yards away. And I got ready and I saw there was some brush in the way, but I thought I had a window. So I took a shot, felt good about it. She went off to the left, didn't run, didn't sprint or anything, and waited about 5 minutes. Wanted to go down to see if there was any blood because I knew she had gone off. I was hoping. Went down there, looked for an hour, kind of gridded the area out, and there was no blood. Made a wider circle, nothing at all. So I knew at some point I would miss an animal. To this point, I've shot 3 deer, 3 elk, never missed one, never lost an animal. Really stinks, and looking back in hindsight, there's lessons I think I could have learned. I should have waited, let her get into a more open spot, but thought I had a good window, so I took the shot. I hit some brush that was in the way there, and it deflected the bullet, I guess. I think I shot underneath her. So really disappointing, but I'm really thankful that I didn't hit her and injure her in her takeoff. But God provided an animal. I made a mistake, praying that he provides another one. Praying that where he set up, where we saw the bull bugling yesterday with those cows, I'm praying that he gets an opportunity as well. That's hunting. That's how it goes. That's not the fun part about hunting, that's for sure. But you learn from it. Keep going. I'm on this really cool opening. It's super steep. Down at the bottom, there was a bull that was bugling not long ago. Maybe 4 or 5 times. I haven't heard him in the last 10 minutes though. I think I'm gonna drop down and see if I can connect with that bull or one of his cows. I was up there, the bull was bugling, it stopped bugling for a long time, dropped down, didn't hear him for like 20-30 minutes, so I assumed he went off. So I was dropping down this hillside, and then he ripped off like probably 50 yards, 100 yards from me, somewhere in there. I tried to drop down to where he was, and then because the wind was going up, so I thought the wind would be good, so I dropped down and got behind a tree and kind of snuck around, and then he bugled again, and he was higher up than either where I thought he was or where he was before, but he was up higher, and I think he winded me. Went off. It's dark and I'm beat. I feel like I went all day today. Last light is over and I am headed back to camp. Okay, it's 5 minutes before first light. We're up and moving. And there's a bull that's bugling. Sounds like 300 to 400 yards, maybe not even that, away from us. So we're gonna go try to make a play on him. We watched those elk for a little bit, and they never came down. We're trying to get back over to where we started. But that calf and the spike, we could have shot either one of those. Nothing else came down, and then they started working back to the left. Good morning. We did not see anything last night. We're going to go back up to where we saw those elk yesterday morning and hope to see them again. And if so, we're going to come up with a plan of how to get to them this time. Hey, yo, what's up?
Hi.
We hunted this morning. Nothing came out where we saw elk yesterday morning, so we still hunted down and around through where we saw the elk coming through. Smelled elk a little bit in the timber and stuff, but nothing, and we're not seeing any fresh signs. So kind of back to the drawing board, trying to figure out what's going on, testing our patience, but we know that God's got a plan bigger than ours. Whether or not it includes elk is to be yet seen, but we're gonna keep pushing. We have half of today, basically. It's 11:30, and we have 2 more days after this. It's gonna get busy up here tomorrow. Saturday, they changed the season date, so. And we just heard our first shot of the day up here, which is kind of weird. But 1 shot yesterday, 1 shot today.
Maybe elk will be moving after that shot, we'll see.
Yep.
That'd be pretty cool.
So we're pretty late in the day. We're going to set up for the evening. We've seen nothing today. Seen no fresh sign. Literally everywhere we go in here, the elk have been in here, like really recently. Yesterday, the day before, probably the day before that, and the day before that, but not today. We walked around all day. We saw literally no fresh sign, as I've mentioned. I think that a lot of them probably a lot of them moved out a couple of days ago after the first shots, but with the weather, got cold this morning, high teens, 20 degrees maybe, and we literally saw 0 fresh sign today, not one thing fresh. So we are going to pack up and relocate, trying to stay positive.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Yes. This is what it looks like packing out, and we're almost back. We got up to basically back to our old spot. Again, we're hoping that with hunting pressure, with colder temperatures, so you can see there's snow up not far above us, that it'll push the elk in here. We haven't seen anything yet this morning. We're at our normal glassing point. Hope we can turn something up. If not, I think we're gonna go back the other side of where we are here and go over by private and see if we can find some border bulls over there, or border cows, or calves at this point. Okay, we didn't see anything this morning on our normal side. Went over to what we call tabletop, and what was the word you used, Brett? How many elk were there?
10,000?
10,000.
10,000.
It's like singing 10,000 reasons. It's not like an exact number, but it means that there's a lot. So, a lot of elk over on this little knob that is completely on private, but we're gonna go around and get over near the closest point to that. We think there's probably gonna be hunters over there too, so don't have high hopes, but you never know. It just takes one coming across where we're gonna be, and we have to make a good shot so it doesn't run back on private. We'll see what happens. We were talking about up there, we were glassing over where we saw the elk this morning, and it's really hard to get motivated to walk 3 miles over here when you know that the elk are on private. They have everything they need on private, and there's a good chance that we're walking over and there's going to be hunters over here. Makes it hard to get motivated to go over here, but our plans are limited at this point, this late in the season. We've got a day and a half left, and we're realistic about the fact that there's a good chance that we're not going to get anything this year. But we also know that God can provide. An animal could walk out right in front of us here and we could take it and harvest it. You just don't know. So we're going anyways. But what do we have to complain about when we're in this, as I destroy my ankle? We're in this beautiful country, aspens and different kinds of junipers. Pretty awesome. We didn't punch a tag this time. No elk on the ground, no grip and grin photos, but that's not the whole story. For a week, we walked through God's creation. We watched the sun rise over the mountains. We heard elk bugle in the distance and up close. We felt the cold morning stillness, the struggle, and the blessing of being right where God placed us. Psalm 19, verse 1 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork." And we saw that glory every single day. We're grateful for the chance to hunt, to learn, to grow, and to be reminded that success isn't always measured by what we bring home. Sometimes it's measured by what God teaches us along the way. Until next time, get out there and hunt for adventure.